This is the Entertainment Zone. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Paul Amadeus Lane. Appreciate you. Really appreciate you checking out these interviews with the cast from the CW's The Flash, joining me and giving you and I some insight about last season and also seasons that have passed and what we have to look forward to coming up in the new season that's going to drop October the 8th. And if you've been following the show, I kind of mentioned this on another segment, that you've seen these actors grow and they are amazing. And one character that we have seen grown and just grew and just changed right before our eyes is the character Cisco Ramon, played by Carlos Valdes. Carlos is actually a pretty good singer too. Not a pretty good singer, a really good singer. Make sure you check out some of his stuff. And I got a chance to talk with Carlos about Cisco Ramon, which nickname does he like, and will Vibe regret not having his powers? So check out what he had to say.
So let's talk about Cisco. Got rid of his powers. Is he going to regret that coming season?
You know, that's a very good question. And all I'm going to say is you kind of hit the nail on the head. But, you know, when we find Cisco at the beginning of season 6, he's definitely happy-go-lucky. He's on top of the world because this is exactly what he wanted. And now he's reaping the rewards. He's getting to explore his relationship with Camilla. He's getting to balance his work-life relationship a little better and not sort of like make the work his life, you know? So I think he's definitely in a very positive place at the beginning of the season.
So talk about over the years with your character, how we noticed from season 1 to the current season to the new season, how has your character just grown?
Well, you know, like, it's not just the character that's grown, it's me as a person, you know, and also me as an actor. So I think that growth definitely has a part to play in how the growth of the character has sort of instituted itself. And I can say the same for any of my compatriots working on the show. You know, we've all grown as people, we've all aged a little bit, and we've all grown as actors as well. So those are definitely variables to consider when sort of tracking the growth of each of these characters on the show. So yeah, it's a very weird thing to sort of look back on the show and watch that growth as, you know, me as Carlos, because I feel like I'm not just watching the character grow, I'm also watching myself grow.
And speaking of your relationship that you have now, will your old girl make us stop in the new season and have girls fighting over you?
Well, that would certainly be a sight to see. And I'm sure Cisco's ego would be quite flattered by that. But I'm not sure. I think for now, I think him focusing on making things okay with Camilla is sort of his top priority. You know, sort of exploring that. I think that's something that I've really sort of liked about Cisco's romantic trajectory, is that each sort of love interest that he's had has been entirely different, you know, and it's a sort of a different dynamic with each of them, and Camilla's no exception.
And when we look at just your character,
yeah,
being a superhero vibe, and then being like the Alfred Pennyworth, you know, of
yes,
Star Labs.
Indeed.
Talk about just how you're able to just balance the two.
You know, it's, I don't know. In terms of the balance, I don't really know how I do it. I'm kind of a genius that way. But I do feel very blessed in that my character is not just sort of a window for viewers to sort of empathize with any given sort of plot or problem in an episode, but also, I oftentimes get to be the one that saves the day because of my tech or because of the suit or because of, Vibe's powers or something like that. You know what I mean? I've really enjoyed being able to be that sort of jack of all trades that can save the day in multiple ways. That's been really nice.
And one last quick one.
Yeah.
Your nickname, do you like Siski or Ramon?
I don't like either of them. They're both demeaning. Never, they should never call Cisco anything but Cisco. That's all he wants to be called.
Great, Carlos. Great talking to you, my
Yeah,
friend.
likewise,
All right,
man. It's good to see
brother.
you.
Good to see you too.
Take it easy.
Carlos Valdes, Cisco Ramon. And I love the way he answered the question as far as vibe, regretting not having his powers, and maybe the door will be open for him to get those powers back. Hey, time will tell. We know all this is leading up to the crisis, and yeah, so we'll see what happens. And I love the way he answered the question, and I know you probably answered that too. But what is his character like as far as a nickname? Ramon, Siski, but he said just Cisco Ramon because he's so brilliant. Enjoy talking to Carlos Valdes. All right. When we get back, we are going to talk with the talented Tom Cavanaugh and talk about his different versions of Wells and Thawne, and I tell you, the way he plays those characters is awesome. So I had an opportunity to talk with him about that. So you make sure that you don't go nowhere. When we get back, the great Tom Cavanaugh. We'll be right back.